Yes. Yes.
We now call the meeting to the historic town of Eatonville, Florida. Regular council meeting called to order. It is 7:31. Today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. This is being considered by Phil.
Yes, Councilman Mack, Councilman Daniels, Vice Mayor Washington, and Mayor Gardner. And for the record, Councilwoman Randolph is not here today.
In participation, all by the secretary. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion for the? It's moved in second, all in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed.
Yes, we have one, Angela Johnson.
As well as it's great that one after information when it's brought forth as a first meeting or resident, if there could be some type of literature that simplifies what the way to check some simple one page here's where the rates are now and here's what the projected rates mean. Because we know that typically what happens is once that first bill is received, that's when residents and I'm not sure what type of additional information we can get out to implore residents to come out to be involved in the process of more. And I know we do our due diligence with the person meetings, however, maybe something in the next quarter bill is these double. Your bills are going on a double, which is what we see, especially when we have to begin the increases. It's with great just want to walk in, a lot of. Nobody would buy friends that don't have. So, if we can, without. But to kind of do something with the name. Only because as being one of the leaders in company part. Francis Jerry Park is still a concern for a number of residents. Last Halloween night, Sunday, Thursday, there was drag racing, where there were cars that were spinning, and you can see the black tire marks right there in front of the car coming down, headed north on Campus View. And I'm not sure when we're going to be able to do something about the fact that the park is open after dark. I guess that's the best way to say it, most politically correct way to say it. It's open after dark with a lot of activity. And there's a concern of a number of residents. Walking along Kennedy Boulevard, I'm not sure who's responsible with the county, and I know our public guys come a lot, they're playing, but just east of the Spire, west of the empty lot on the corner of Lake Destiny and Kennedy, I guess it's gonna be the town's right away, because it looks like whoever owns the line is rolling up to a certain point. The grass is rolling into the sidewalk. So there needs to be maintenance, and if it's the county's responsibility, let me know, and I would be more than happy to contact Commissioner Christine Moore, because she does a whole lot of it. So those are just some things that I wanted to bring to your attention, especially, especially pointing out the need for a simplified depiction of how rates will change. And then if they're, during that reading, if there could be more information on the town giving a $1.7 million debt. I'm not sure what else can be done, because those, if you don't give the debt, then it has to be rolled into the new rate structure. So now the current and future residents are bearing the burden for the debt that was forgiven for those that have used the services prior to. But I'm not sure what kind of consideration can be done, but just think we are forgiving a $1.7 million debt. And we, so I'm not sure how we can affect them. Because I also know the benefit, because the benefit of giving the debt is outweighed giving the debt, because you want the $25 million DEP grant. So the cost benefit is there, so I understand that part for the 30.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. My phone. That was the last one.
The next item is that, there's plans for reading the first item being the approval of the second reading of ordinance 2024-9.
Ordinance 2024-9, an ordinance of the town of Eatonville, Florida, amending chapter 30 solid waste of the town code by revising the enclosure requirements for commercial solid waste containers, providing the town planning director with the authority to waive commercial container enclosure requirements in limited circumstances, establishing procedures for the administrative waiver of commercial container enclosure requirements, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
We have approved the panel read. This item is now open for public comments. Would like to comment? One else, on the ordinance. We're now closing the public hearing. And you've heard the preamble. Is there a motion? It's been moved to second. I'm going to say aye. All opposed. So the second reading of the ordinance before that time has been approved. Approval of item 2, approval of the first reading of ordinance 2024-10, repealing ordinance 97.
You ready for me to? Oh, okay. Ordinance 2024-10, an ordinance of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, repealing ordinance number 97-07 and ordinance number 2016-4, providing for the future adoption of water and wastewater service rates and fees by resolution, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Before opens for anything want to have so that the citizens understand this wasn't.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. And for those of you who know me, my name is Patrick Bragg, said it, lived 60 here. So currently in your code, the ordinance 97-07 sets the rates and haven't been amended our sewer utility rates since that time. What this does is it's the first reading of the ordinance to repeal 97 ordinance. It then does a second thing, which it approved its second reading. At that time, it's when you would adopt the new rates via resolution. And so it gives you the flexibility to, if we do your new study next year and you decide that the rates might need to be in fact, but it allows you to change them by resolution rather than the ordinance procedure where you have to do first reading and second reading, codify it, and you come in issue patient perhaps flexible. So tonight it's the first reading, which is why you don't have the new rates in it. Following the workshop, certainly in the direction of the presentation. And that would be included in the package for the second reading. The both and this ordinance be in the next meeting.
That explanation for the ordinance, if there is anyone that would like to comment, public section is not, please make the mention of that. There being no comments, we now are ready for a motion to repeal ordinance 97-07 and
Second, the question,
it's been moved and seconded.
the question is, it's the thing that we had discussion with, during our workshop. This one, I know we're not making a decision based off the, rate study of the particular, price that it's gonna be, but I just want to be sure out of the options that we had, it's gonna be the most feasible one. Moving forward.
Yes, sir. Mine includes the time to do it correctly. but the rates, as I understood, in the workshop would be for residential, commercial with water, would be the minimum rate of 15.84. And for commercial would be 26.46. For basic water, for fiscal year 24-25, residential and commercial would be 26.06. And I'm sorry, for residential would be 26.6, commercial. And that would be like that.
Okay, so,
And also, just so you know, that CPI is in there. It's going to be added to make sure, I think it was already in the credit.
So, the best explanation I could give you is that 97-07, section D of that ordinance didn't have CPI language in it. But the actual text of what the rates are, which is probably what was codified by the community code or whatever you had codified it, they probably only included the rates, and they didn't include section B, which had the CPI language. We will make sure you will have one single document that has both the rates and the CPI information in it, and it should be easy to see and track.
thank you.
So, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All right, the next item is the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Second.
Then moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. All right, that, the agenda, Mr. President.
Briefly, no selection night, so, just want to thank the staff, as you heard earlier, efforts to, make, for the first historic town meeting was first election precinct for Red Town Hall, which I thought that whoever she, had adjusted our schedules and actually move it around the facility, but it did not infringe on us, continuing, so I want to say thank you, staff, especially to, our community department, staying out of the way and making sure we didn't, infringe on that, right to funding to go along with, Ms. Valerie Monkey. And her staff that work late just about every night to make sure that the facility was open and closed early. So shift their schedule. Some came in early, some came in late. So we just want to recognize the efforts from public staff there. And also to the clerk, proper schedules to make sure that will properly. So this is an overall effort for that. As you know, I've spoken with each one of you regarding this. You know, we have been working on our garbage. We have had all of the ranking sessions. We do have a candidate that we're currently negotiating to get to the final grade of that. In that process, Storm had the current hauler, which is WCI Waste Connections, kind of switched from what was discussed. And we had discussed that they would allow an extension. Well, they would allow an extension, but they wanted us to do a 11-month extension versus what we had talked about was a 3-month extension. And so with that stipulation, we wouldn't have been able to continue this process, which we're doing now, to make sure we can correct this. I want you to all know it was important to the staff and I make sure we didn't just continue this cycle. I know we're going through and creating maps now. They're working on that now. We have a better process of dump times, who's being serviced with the new hall. We're working on that. We do have an emergency hall in right now because of Waste Connections' decision not to extend for the short term. They wanted the long term. Said no, we're going to correct this now. So if you all just for the public know, you should have got picked up today for that to change. And we do have an emergency hauler in right now taking care of that until we finalize everything, RFP, and bring it back before council, which is more likely going to be the first meeting in December. But in the meantime, we are working now to make sure commercial as well as the residential services are taken care of. We did have a few today where WCI did pull out their cans, their big dumpsters, being commercial dumpsters. But we've already had them service and we're working to have some temporary service dumpsters put in to those locations until finalization. All in all, we want to just make sure you know that once we finalize the rankings, present now, introduce and bring in our caller and introduce to you all, and we'll work to make sure the transition of this continues at a high level. Also, we're working now on a community change grant. that we will just kind of keep for you. They're very close to getting all of that information together. Ms. Valerie is back very diligent to make sure. So it's coming. We did receive word from our attorney, not Mr. Brad Patrick, but also from Mr. Cliff, that there is a meeting on November 12th at 4 p.m. at the Orange County School Board Administration. This is to discuss the whole of the problem. We did submit, as Cliff's last report, did submit an actual lease purchase agreement to school board to consider. It had a closed session because of the whole lawsuit litigation. But they're now ready to have an open conversation. So we're asking Pete Williams and Mike to be part of it. We will attend that meeting on November 12th at 4 p.m. We will have selected individuals that will speak to show the variety of support that the town has with this, to make sure they know that, we're in a better place. We're making strides, even though we have some challenges. We have made some strides to make sure that with the school board working with us on this matter, we can make sure that for the town, for the community, that this site is using the best interest. So that's the statement. So keep you abreast of that. That is on that day. They will receive some correspondence. Lastly, and as you know, what I'll send in my brief out for you, we are working closely with Congressman Frost. President Frost office. There are several grants that we have been moving forward, such as the 4.1. We have started that process. For Rain Lift Station, that has we have authorized our engineer to proceed forward with the design and plans of that. So we started preparing to finish up that particular grant there. And then, of course, there was a meeting in the other for the club evening to stay in place. Past Wednesday that took place. So that's the. As I close, we say thank you to staff again for the part of the and there's a question for me to take.
Yes, I'll be real brief. First of all, I'd like to thank the staff for doing such a sensational job during the election cycle, doing the early voting, and up to this point right here on election day. Hopefully we can have a very peaceful and humble elections after it's all said and done. And also, kudos with Bill Clinton for coming in town. I know he collaborated with Macedonia in making that happen. So thanks to Chief and his staff for just making this town safe and doing all the things that we do on a daily basis to make sure that we are safe. So kudos to you and salute for that process. And I don't think I heard you say it, Mr. President, but I'm hoping that the contract that we need to move forward with getting from them. I know we spoke briefly about it, but we definitely need to get on charge of making that happen sooner than later. And this next one would be considered concerning Orange County, which would be our representative, Ms. Moore. I know I've spoke about it before, and I'm very particular about trying to get these sidewalks. And I know we're going to be doing a project. We've been doing this since 2019 and 2024. So we're talking about 5 years now. So hopefully we can go down the trajectory of doing something sooner than later for the safety of England, because I have seen some things that she's done in the Poplar and Pine Hills area, which is a great thing. So if she can definitely come over here and consider helping us out, again, some temporary sidewalks for our residents, that would definitely be really appreciated. Also, hopefully everyone have taken advantage of getting out early voting or voting today. You had up until 7 o'clock, so hopefully you made your voice heard. And I know how important this election is for the sake of everybody, for the sake of democracy in this country, not just from a local standpoint, but from a global standpoint. So hopefully everybody did their duty in making their vote count. And also, I'm just praying for everybody that have suffered any loss. I just recently lost my dad 2 weeks ago, I just had to go and bury him on last Wednesday. So, my condolences to my family and, my siblings and everybody involved. So, my father, he's resting, he's looking down now. And, just continuing, the rest in the Father's hand and doing his thing. So I appreciate the 74 years that he gave on this earth and the 51 that he gave me as his child. So love you, Dad. And also, my last but not least is this is for your attorney. Do we have any litigations or lawsuits pending in the town of Eatonville at this time? Other than the one that I've already know about, but you probably wouldn't know what I know.
I'm not aware of any, but I also I'm not Cliff, so I'm not your county attorney and sitting for him and he's speak. I can certainly reach out to you tomorrow and tell you they're on.
Okay, thank you. That's my report. Thank you. Have a good night.
Ms. Mills and I normally don't agree on everything we have mutual friends, but I do agree with her with the Bill Clinton situation. I didn't know about President Clinton coming in until Friday. I just happened to have a meeting with Mr. Presley, and he said, we're trying to work something out where we get you guys to go and meet Mr. Clinton. I'm sorry, President Clinton. And as I was waiting, I checked my email. I saw a couple of Democratic parties that want to come, but I was waiting on my administration to say something. Yeah, hey, we're gonna be here. We're gonna do this. And I was disappointed because if our mayor is invited to go and get vetted, because I talked to my brother who has been vetted and could have gotten me in. I was like, well, I wanted to go with my staff, my administration. What's the press said? He has. And if our mayor did, I don't know why council did. It was, like Ms. Mill said, it was an important time to show unity, show the community that we're standing in this time and we support President Clinton. And it's third time we've been early voting. Thought that was a very important time that we didn't get to participate. Let me not say speak for others. Let me just say I did. I was disappointed that I didn't get vetted and that we didn't go and show unity and stand together. Because I wanted to rub shoulders with President Clinton, take a picture, and if our mayor did it, we all up here the same. We should have been afforded opportunity. So just disappointed in that. Don't fault anybody, but I'm disappointed that we didn't get through it as well. Also, policy change. When you talk to staff, you hear their concerns that maybe the leaders don't. We hear, they have situations that's going on. I would like for our morale gets to be, I don't know about morale. It's disheartening to know that you have a well-educated person with 2 or 3 degrees and they're not compensated. And it can kind of make them feel like, well, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? If I'm not compensated for the skills that I've done out of college. I've got a 4-year degree here. I've got 2 or 3. I'm not compensated like I should be. And I don't fault them. I kind of fault us because I want us to bring our pay level up to where that person is. Get an opportunity. You got 2 degrees. Here's what we offer. Now you accept it, then you can't say anything. But if we're competitive to the outside market with your 2 degrees, I feel like you should be compensated as such. That's just me with our staff. And I will look forward to, and I'll get with Mr. Presley, some type of policy changes and see where we are with our staff and make sure everyone's compensated accordingly. That's my report. It's great for Vice President.
Trying to be that big, so, somebody party.
Didn't hear me, I'm just gonna get straight to. Y'all probably heard about it Friday. I received a text about 2:59 Friday. And at that point, it was just a possibility. They couldn't tell me when, they couldn't tell me where, all I knew was that they had to be doing it. But it still wasn't even confirmed. Friday night, I received an email for that you have to be there. If at that point I should have said, what about the council? I could apologize, I didn't. Because at that point, she's talking about secret service and all of that. So I got that text, well, I got that email Friday night. After that, I didn't receive any more information until, like Saturday. And then that's when, because I was saying, what am I doing? Because even at that point, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just gonna be a part. And since I had not heard, I thought I was just gonna be sitting there in the place. It had nothing to do with the town. I don't know when she started getting rumblings about it. I don't know. That's how quickly it happened. If there was another question I should have asked, then I'll know the next time something like this comes up. You know, but if I'm gonna apologize, I apologize sincerely. If there was no information I could give you, I couldn't say, hey, they're gonna send it to you, because I didn't know. And then Saturday is when I found out I received itinerary, agenda, and all, not even an agenda for the program. I received an itinerary of who's gonna be. That was Saturday. You had to be there. So that's how quick that. There was no hush hush. There was nothing like that. It was exciting. I was going to go like everyone else. So if there was someone else that had other information, I didn't have the information. So that's just how that really is how that. And I know there were some people that really just showed their ID and came in. So. I don't really know what to say. And I saw people from the town there. So I know that there was a way to get it. Now, my process was different because I was a speaker. The only people in that room were mainly speakers. There were some other people like on the staff. But that was it. That's all that was in the room. So I love election night too. But we haven't to talk about fees. What are fees going to go up? What are we going to do about it? So there was work we needed to do tonight. Tonight was important. I know that something to say is sure. Yes, but our town does like this. You know, I appreciate the staff's efforts and everything that has been going on. The notice is supposed to be made. And I don't know if it comes back in that. It's been moving second dollars.
All right.
And we'll go forward to now.
I don't.
I appreciate it. Oh, yeah.
All right. Have a good night. I'm gonna keep praying.
All right, good to see you. It's been a while. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.